I'm going to be chatting to Lethabo Farhana Masombuka, who is the founder of Modern Day Services. She's going to be sharing her journey to Islam with us, and she is on the line. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Lethabo, and shukran for joining me.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, all good, and yourself?
I'm well.
All right, so you embraced Islam at the young age of 16. Now, tell us about your journey. Who or what inspired you?
Funny thing is that I saw it on TV in 2005 because I was just so searching for direction.
Mm-hmm.
See, so when I saw it on TV, I used to watch Nur issues of faith.
Mm-hmm.
So I was quite interested in the type of lifestyle that people live, and I wanted to know more. So in 2006, I was in high school. So I met up with brother Yunus. Um, he is also here in Socha, and he was a Muslim and a practicing Muslim at that, and he was also doing poetry. So we met up there. Then I asked him for permission to actually go to the masjid, so I was interested in that. So one thing it led to there, I embraced Islam, and after that, everything just fell into place, even though a lot of people did not understand that what was going on with this girl. One minute I am uh, cold-hearted hip hop girl, and the next thing I am wearing a headscarf. Even in school, it was just it tells me like what is going on with this. I'm going through what is this a phase, an adolescent phase.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a questionable thing even at home.
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes
Yeah.
sense to you, but it did not make sense to them, and I think it wasn't meant for to make sense for to them back then. Maybe now, inshallah, hopefully they understand. So, or what were some of the challenges you faced back then?
Um, the challenges that I faced were surprisingly within Islam.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the people outside of Islam because I knew how to handle the noise that was outside.
Yeah.
So people could not really come directly at me and tell me that what you are doing is wrong or is an Indian religion or anything like that. But within Islam, those are the challenges that I found. For I got introduced to a lot of sects. I got introduced to a whole lot of uh, school of thought that
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know existed. So I only know one. So when you actually embrace Islam, then you know that the knowledge that you have is a drop in the ocean. So it was kind of difficult for me, but then I had to find a way to isolate myself from everything, all that noise within Islam, and actually find it in myself. So
Mm-hmm.
nobody took me there. Nobody just came to me and gave me dawah. The TV gave me dawah. Allah just directed me to that. You see, so I had to find Islam myself. I had to teach myself how to recite the Quran. I had to teach myself how to read and understand the Quran in both English and in Arabic. So the difficulty was within
Mm-hmm.
the, yes, the Muslim nation.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned with the difficulty, what about the support? Did you receive any support from the Muslim community once you embraced?
It was a 50-50 thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I embraced, for me, I felt like everything was just heaven. Everything was just perfect. I thought that Muslims were just perfect beings with perfect conduct. They knew everything that was supposed to do, how to do right and how to treat people right. But then I got to understand that they too are also human beings.
Yes.
If they make their mistakes. So it was heartening for me, for it was the people who were close to me that actually broke me apart in order to build me again. You see.
Mm-hmm.
So the support was there, but I initially had to find it myself. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a welcoming thing. I just had to go to the right people to receive the right kind of support.
hmm Now,
Yes.
okay, Ramadan is almost upon us, inshallah. May Allah allow us to reach the month and take full advantage.
I
Take
mean,
us through to your first Ramadan. What was the experience like?
I embrace Islam in the month of Ramadan.
MashaAllah.
So when I embrace, like, no, you should start fasting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I do not know how to fast. I've never fasted in my life. So I'll see it next year. So let me teach myself so that I do not fall into error.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started learning from there, like learning how to fast, what time to fast, what to eat, what are the do's and don'ts when you're fasting. So come the following year, I knew all the months and everything. So what I took from there is that 40 days before the month of Ramadan, I actually start to isolate myself from a whole lot of things. I
Mm-hmm.
start to cut down on a whole lot of things so that when the 40 days is up and the month of Ramadan is just commencing, I know that I'm in a state of purity, as to put it. So the 40 days works for me. I still do it even today. So
MashaAllah.
yeah, it's a practice that I do every year.
All right. And now you live in Soshanguve. So, what are some of the frequently asked questions that you often get there?
Frequently asked questions. Am I married to an Indian? Do you have an Indian store? You know, the 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 norm. For me, it's a norm because each and every person that who isn't a Muslim is asking me that question, and those who are Muslims, it sometimes even gets annoying because they'll come to you like, "Assalamu alaikum, sister. How long have you been Muslim?" You know, like it's a taboo for me to be a Muslim, a black Muslim.
Hmm.
So it's man, it's annoying. It's annoying at times. So I choose not to answer. I choose not to be part of that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
yes,
you know what? There's this thing where people always ask, how long have you been Muslim, or when did you embrace Islam?
yes.
And I think that that's quite irritating because is there a timeline for how long a person should be a Muslim?
No, there isn't because to me, I count myself among those who are fortunate because it is within the Sunnah, it's within the Sahaba. The Sahaba were not born Muslims. Therefore, I come highly favored because I reverted to Islam
Mm-hmm.
just as the Sahabas did. They learned it and they lived it and they died with it.
Mm-hmm.
So being born Muslim, yes, it's a blessing, but I also come highly favored because I was in error and Allah found me. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? I did
Yeah.
not grow up within it. So it is a blessing for me. It is something it is not even a choice. It is a lifestyle. It is my life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now
Yes.
tell us about your work and how do you incorporate your work with Islam?
Um Funny thing is that I went to NYGA yesterday and they told me that it is time for you to actually be selfish for one and actually start thinking about your business instead of other people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a people's person and I'm a person that believes in helping other people before I can come towards myself.
Yeah.
So that is the SWOT analysis, the weakness within my business that I have to overcome because I teach skills development trainings. I do skills development trainings and I teach people how to be independent mind thinkers so that we could actually be productive, functioning people in the society. I do not just want a person who just lives on handouts because we're supposed to exemplify ourselves through the way that we live. So with my business, it is what I teach. It is what I encourage. It is part of the 10 commandments within my business that it does not stop here. Continue moving this message. If the person does not understand you as you say it, bring them to me because I do not just want you to be elevated and liberated, whereas we are all in the same boat. Because as black people, we're in the minority, and it hurts to be in the minority while you see other people prosper and succeed, and you ask yourself, how did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
How can I put myself there? How can I be part of this kind of people? So instead of answering that question within them, I answer that question within my own circle. Like,
Yes.
let us create our own circle where we will say, this is a group that will be liberated by thinkers who will actually make a difference in this world as entrepreneurs, as young entrepreneurs. So I want to see the change in the community, not just in a single person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is my business. So I kind of fall short sometimes because I think more of my students and how to help them than actually my business and how to make it grow.
Mm-hmm. And
Yes.
also, it comes down to the challenges that women face in the communities. And, you know, I wanted to ask you about being a Muslim woman in the townships and the challenges that you face there amongst the Muslim community there. Are you inclusive in the decision makings? Do you form part of any organizations? Do they allow you to do work for the community?
Hmm. I'm a person that is that takes charge, takes
Yeah.
control. I do not want people to allow me to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I a person that starts and creates something out of nothing because it is where I actually have full control of its directive. So we are actually in talks to actually start Muslim society, Muslim women's society will actually be supporting and helping Muslim women because when we look at it, um, the majority of us are seated at a home. We want to be housewives, but we forget that what will happen? What is the aftermath of being a housewife? What is the aftermath of not having your voice? See, so I do not just want you to just be a housewife. Make the changes that you need to make within the community, within the Muslim community, within your own community. Give dawah to the people that you are living with, you are living around as a Muslim through your conduct, through your appearance, through each and every stage of your life. Make that impact on people that this is Islam and this is the way of life. Because initially it is a way of life, even though people separate how we live to us going for Jummah.
Mm-hmm.
We think that Islam is only on Jummah, but it is our life. It is the way that we live. So with the society that we want to create here in Social, here in Winterford, here within the Umbeling the Jummah Masjid, is the society that will actually liberate this woman and also create them to be forward thinkers, move with the times and say, this is not the end. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is not where it ends for you. There's more to you than just where you are right now. See?
Mm-hmm.
So we are in talks actually. We will be having a Muslim seminar just before Ramadan.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you will come because I always
Inshallah.
invite you and you're like, I'm coming out. Something has happened. But hopefully you will come. I will also post it on my Facebook page. That this is what's happening. And I want us as women to actually be the threshold of each and everything in this because the first person who was given dawah, it was Khadija. She's
Mm-hmm.
the first person to embrace Islam. She was a woman. The four most blessed women are there. Let us see them as exemplary and actually live our lives according to the way that they live. You see,
Mm-hmm.
so that is the way that I see things. That will be my place on the table. Say this is what I'm bringing. So I'm also hoping that a whole of other sisters who will be part of this will actually bring something that will bring a change to the community.
Inshallah, Ameen. Well,
Mm.
Jazakallah so much for your time and for sharing your story with us and our listeners. I hope that it will provide some inspiration to others. And if anybody is interested in learning about Islam, well, you can go ahead and learn about Islam. Get books, speak to people, visit a masjid, etc. And
Yes, we want books from our community. We
mhm.
want everything, the storylines, each and every. We want them to be based on the community because this is our life. We're not living an Indianized life. We want it. We want to bring it back to Africa. Say this is also a religion for each and every nation, not just the
Definitely.
Indians, like
Hmm.
the school of thought that most people have.
Yes, it's not for
Yeah.
one person, but it's for all of
Yes. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi
humankind.
Wasallam brought mercy to each and every insan, not just the Arabs.
Yes. All right,
Yes.
Sister Lethabo, shukran so much for your time and have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
Afwan. That was Lethabo Farhana Masombuka sharing her journey to Islam with us on the mid morning show with your host, Maria Makwanda. Do stay with us. We will be right back.
You are listening to Mariam Makwanda live on Salam Media.
Discover the Africa